Welcome to the Coffee Club, broadcasting live from New York with your host, Felix, and co-host, Dr. Marc. So let's have a cup of coffee and enjoy the show.
There is no heaven. There is no hell. There is only this world and its dark reflection. And we do not know in which of the two worlds we are.
I think we know. We are. We're in Oceanside, New York. This is, who am I? I don't know. Who are you? Anybody hear us out there?
I am answering Chad at the moment.
I think Chad is answering us here.
Well, then that works for me.
Chad, you there?
I can hear you guys.
Hello?
Can you hear me? Hello.
No, I hear you perfectly. Chad, you must truly walk in God's footsteps. What can I tell you? Because you're the only one.
He's the only one what?
He understands.
I'm the only one. I don't know what he's talking about.
Oh, he said you
Did you guys
understand. He said you understand because you're the only one.
You were the only one who stuck with us. You know, you heard us when no one else could.
Right, well, I tolerate you guys.
God is truly on your side.
Well, you guys keep promising me food. That's why I keep coming back.
Hey, listen, we always promise food.
Yeah, like I want
like?
good New York. I like good New York City food, like the best pizza, the best Chinese. You guys keep saying you'll get it to me, but I still haven't seen any food, man. You guys haven't drop shipped anything to me.
Well, you see, what you have to do is you have to come downtown, you know, and we'll take you to at least a deli that I could think of that you will truly feast. You will think that you are in Jewish heaven.
Which one?
I said Jewish heaven.
Which place though?
Kansas
or
no.
That's a great question.
It's either Harold's, but I'm thinking more along the lines of the Mill Basin Deli in Brooklyn.
I think the Katz's.
Hey, speaking of your audience, you guys, have I scared your audience away yet with all of my preaching?
Well,
I don't know. I think they're avoiding us like the plague.
That's good. I want to hear a response.
Chad, let me put it this way. Unfortunately, with Felix's wife in rehab, getting better slowly, little by little, Felix hasn't showered in I don't know how long. So that's enough to scare anybody away.
Oh, right. Oh, definitely.
But as far as the audiences, I'm not sure. I have to look at statistics. I think we do better in the non-religious shows. Actually, we're on Spreaker and on Blog Talk Radio. And on Spreaker, we definitely do better on the non-religious shows.
Oh,
and
sure.
On a Blog Talk Radio, I think we do sometimes.
Well, I don't care about popularity. I was just curious about how people respond to spiritual things.
Well, I think people would rather respond politically, which is usually on Monday, okay, or like the last show that we did about self-help and improving one's life, I think they don't mind responding to that, but when it comes to religion, it's once again, almost taboo. Pardon fun.
Well, we do have that one listener. You spoke to her.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. Yeah, the Catholic girl.
She enjoys
listening
to you and bantering back and forth.
She plays part of your show in her Wednesday Bible class a couple times.
Oh, interesting. Well, I mean, I'm pretty objective, though, towards Catholicism. I don't think she'd appreciate that, but I hope that she would at least make her think a little bit. That's my job. That's my job and my goal is to make you guys think a little bit. like we talked about last time that we talked, I challenged you on this idea that all religions could be right or some sort of universal thing. And me and Marc were just talking on the phone just before you guys were having computer issues, is about this idea that there's nothing at all wrong with generalizing it, but I object to that. I think there's something very wrong with generalizing. I think that God was very specific of what he said, and I think that that's what it needs to be taught, is a specific word.
Well, other people say they also read the religion, and they say that's what God says, so it's
okay,
kind of hard.
well, that's good. That's good. So now which one of those is true? Because they both can't be true, right? Maybe none of them are true. I would rather hear you guys say, you know what, I don't know which one, they all can't be true, but I don't know which one is. I would rather hear you guys say that than all roads lead to God, which I clearly refuted last time we talked. Clearly. I mean, there wasn't even a question. Right?
Okay.
I mean, I did. I asked you if Jesus could be Michael the Archangel and not Michael the Archangel, and Marc and you said no. I asked you if Jesus can be God and not God at the same time, and you both said no. So that's problematic if you are a universalist. If you're a universalist, then that has serious implications in that thinking. That's not true. Can't be true. Jesus can't be Michael the Archangel and not Michael the Archangel, guys. Come on. Right? So now Marc was bringing up some moral... Marc, I forgot what you were saying. You were bringing up some sort of moral thing.
I probably forgot it too.
We're talking
about marriage. It was about marriage. Wasn't it about marriage?
About marriage with the priests.
Right, about priests and nuns. The fact that I don't believe Jesus in any of his, and you would know better than me.
I was just saying, that's only the Catholic religion, basically.
Well, I know that, but that's what I said. Jesus never said anything in his teachings that, the disciples should not marry, could not marry. Most of them were married. They had families. Jesus pulled them away from whatever they were doing, and they followed him because they believed in his message, but many of them left families behind. And then after his crucifixion and resurrection and the 40 days when he wandered before he set them off on their task 2 by 2, I'm sure they took their families with them at that point.
Right. So now the question is, what Jesus was teaching, was that consistent with the God of the Old Testament?
Well, when you talk about preaching and spreading the word, I mean, I think the forefathers of the Jewish religion spread the word. I think, but by the same token, I could understand Muslims saying that, when Muhammad was called up to heaven by Allah, and he wrote down the Quran, which he did everything from memory. He was trying to spread the word. Now they believe that because their religion is the youngest of all the, modern. When I say modern, I mean the, religions that we tend to follow. That should be like the final word, because I think Muhammad. I think Islam started in 600 and something. Okay.
Yeah, right around 500, 600 AD. Yeah.
So,
sorry for all the noise, guys.
No, that's okay.
We're just hearing a little static from your end.
Yeah. Hold on one second, okay. You guys can talk more about it. I want to make a comment about Islam and about new religions and all this stuff. There's still an inconsistency because of the personalities of the gods. Okay, when you study mythology and various theologies, all of the gods have various different personalities. Some religions have multiple gods, they have billions. Hinduism has multiple gods. Okay.
Not all of them are benevolent. Not all of them are benevolent. Okay.
Right. You need a god. Go ahead.
What?
Go ahead, Mark.
Well, what I was going to say was, in the Old Testament, especially in the book of Genesis, okay, it seems like God is forever punishing man for whatever he did. Okay. In the New Testament, and God forever promises, after the great flood, he says that he will never do that again. He will never wipe mankind off the face of the earth. Okay.
With a flood. No, that's not true. What it is he promised not to kill the rest of humanity with a flood, but he will destroy the earth in the end times with fire.
Okay. What I was really driving at is that it just seems like in the Old Testament, God is always angry. Okay. He's always teaching humanity and mankind a lesson. Okay, by man having free will and making choices. In the New Testament, Jesus is all about peace and love. Okay? The only time that you read anything in the New Testament about, hellfire and brimstone is when you read John at the end when he in Revelation. Okay? When he says what one needs to do in order to be saved. Okay? Now, in Islam, and I don't know that much about the Quran, they're always talking about, beheading the infidel, and the only true word is the only true God is Allah, and Muhammad is his prophet, and everybody else is damned to hell, basically.
Yeah. Well, let me clear up some things, Mark, okay? Because that is a big observation many people bring to me daily when I'm witnessing to them. They will bring up they try to make sense out of Jesus being God. If he's like God or he is God, why does he seem to be so loving and peacefully and without war and judgment? And then the God from the Old Testament, he's full of wrath, and he's always fighting, and he's always... That does seem that. But you have to understand the nature and the character of God. You see, God is all those things. God is loving. He's judging. He's a just God. He is a angry God. He's a loving God. He hates sin. He sends people to judgment. So what you have to do when you're looking at the Bible is you have to stay consistent with those personalities, even though you see movement in the Old Testament. For instance, God had to get it so that Israel was established. Well, how did he do that? He started with Abraham, right? And then from Abraham, he fathered the nations. Well, that eventually turned the Jews into their own land, in the land of Canaan. Canaan turned into Israel. So you have...
Well, he said, right. And he also, what he said to Abraham was that I will make